All right, let's talk about finding a great dog trainer here in Pennsylvania. The whole point, really, is to help you and your dog just enjoy life together, whether you're in the city or out in the country.
I mean, at the end of the day, you just want a dog who can be a great companion, right? Someone who can handle a busy sidewalk just as well as a quiet trail in a state park. Good training is what makes all that possible, and way more enjoyable for both of you.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll touch on what makes having a dog in Pennsylvania a little different. Then, we'll get into finding the right training approach, matching that to your specific needs, and figuring out the important questions you should be asking. And we'll wrap up with some ideas for getting out there and practicing.
First up, let's talk about Pennsylvania life with your dog. You know, it's all about getting your dog ready for the huge variety of places we have right here.
Just think about it. One day you might be on a packed city sidewalk, and the next, you're on a super quiet suburban street. You've got those narrow row house streets, busy farmers markets, and then you've got other dogs and people on hiking trails. Every single one of those spots needs a dog who can stay cool and focused. And that's exactly why the right training makes such a difference.
Okay, so that brings us to finding the right approach. Let's look at what you should expect from a modern dog trainer.
So, the standard for modern training is something called positive reinforcement. And really, it's pretty simple. It's all about rewarding your dog for doing the things you want them to do. It's not just about teaching sit or stay. It actually builds a confident dog that wants to listen to you, which is a whole different ballgame than a dog who just listens because they're afraid not to.
But how can you tell who's a real pro? Well, you'll often see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, kind of like alphabet soup. Don't let it intimidate you. Things like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP, they're not just random letters. They're a sign that this person has actually gone through rigorous certification and is serious about using up-to-date, humane methods.
Okay, so once you know what a good trainer looks like, you've got to find the right format that works for you and your dog. Let's check out the options.
Your two main choices are usually group classes or private lessons. Group classes, they're awesome for getting the basics down and for getting your dog used to being around other dogs. But private lessons, that's where you can really zero in on problems happening in your house, like going nuts when the doorbell rings. You get that one-on-one attention that can make all the difference.
And then you've got some other flavors of training. Puppy training is for, well, puppies, getting them started right with socialization. Behavior modification is for the tougher stuff, like if your dog is fearful or anxious. And you might see things like day training or board and train. These can be really effective. But here's the key. A good program will always teach you how to keep the training going. If they don't, that's a big red flag.
All right, let's talk about cost. As you can see, prices can be all over the map. And yeah, they tend to be a bit higher around Philly. When you're looking at a package, whether it's for group classes or private lessons, make sure you ask what you're actually getting for that price. Does it include handouts, follow-up emails? Knowing the details helps you see the real value.
So now you've got a short list of trainers. What's next? Well, you've got to interview them. This is your chance to ask some really important questions to make sure they're the right fit.
First off, just ask about their methods and their education. Make sure it matches up with that positive reinforcement approach. Then, ask them how they're going to customize the training for your dog's specific personality and issues. You don't want a cookie-cutter plan. Be sure to get the full scoop on the cost and what it includes. And, this is a big one, find out what you need to do. What's the homework like? Finally, ask them how you'll know you're making progress and what the end goal looks like.
And now for the best part, taking all this hard work and putting it into practice out in the real world. This is where you really get to see the results.
Before you go, just a quick rundown of some rules. In Pennsylvania, your dog has to be under your control anytime they're not on your property. Most places have leash laws, so check your local rules. And yep, a dog license and a rabies shot are required for every dog statewide. Just the basics to keep everyone safe. Now here is something you absolutely need to know. Pennsylvania does not require dog trainers to be licensed. That means literally anyone can print up some business cards and call themselves a dog trainer. This is why doing your homework and asking all those questions we went over is so important. It's really up to you to find a qualified professional. So where can you go to work on these new skills? Well, dog parks are a good spot for practicing things like coming when called. Our state parks have tons of trails that are perfect for working on leash manners. Just be sure to keep them leashed. Even some state game lands are an option, but you'll definitely want to check the rules for the season before you head out.
So, as we finish up, here's something to think about. What does a really great day with your dog look like to you?
Is it being able to walk downtown without any pulling? Or maybe just having friends over without your dog jumping all over them? Keeping that picture in your mind is really the best motivation you can have.
Because that's what this is all about. Finding a good trainer is about investing in that future, so you have a dog who's a happy, confident neighbor and a trusted friend you can take anywhere in Pennsylvania. Hope this helps you get started, and we wish you all the best on your training journey.